Sup people, welcome to 1000 Words. My name is Radu, I'm a street photographer from Romania, and I found the secret to YouTube success. I've beaten the algorithm. I've won at YouTube. Today I'm having Azuga, Romanian beer, the Märzen variety. Very fresh tasting, ever so slightly bitter, clear, full-bodied. And no, this is not a clickbait title. This is not a preposterous claim. This is not meant to deceive. This is not any sort of play of words. This is accurate. This is real. This is true. I don't need you to subscribe. I don't need you to buy anything. I can let you know exactly how anyone and everyone can win at YouTube. I mean, if I could, you can as well. Let me explain. I've started this channel very early in 2021. There's about 3 or 4 videos you're not ever going to be able to see that I put out on this channel before I switched to English. And that is to say, at the very beginning of this channel, I was addressing merely a Romanian public. I was speaking in Romanian, and I did much of the same things. Vintage lens reviews, having beer, talking about photography. But very quickly and very early on, I realized I was depriving myself. I was missing out on a very large piece of public because I chosen a niche within a niche. I'm a black and white photographer, and that in itself is a niche. And let's not even talk about the fact that photography in itself is just a very small niche on YouTube. So black and white photography is an even smaller niche. Then there's the fact that I stubbornly use vintage lenses and manual focus only. That is yet another smaller niche because that limits the subjects I can approach as far as actual public interest goes. Not a lot of people still maintain interests in vintage manual focus lenses, so I deprive myself of that part of the public as well. I'm a niche within a niche within a niche. Furthermore, even as far as the software I choose to use, I use raw therapy and Linux, and that's even a smaller niche. I can't be doing photography tutorials on Lightroom and Photoshop, and that's quite more popular. So I'm a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche. You get the point. I have access to a relatively small size audience. However, while at first, sure enough, I, like most everybody does, I looked for tutorials and videos and guides on how to optimize your videos, how to get more likes, how to get more views, how to get more subscribers, how to get more watch time. I tried most of everything people usually do on YouTube. I tried really catchy titles. I tried calls to action. Please subscribe, please follow, please share, please link. I tried graphics. I tried various editing techniques, like really shortcuts. I tried, on one occasion or two, I tried cutting out dead air, the breaths you take. Some people even do that when they edit videos. This new kind of video editing style requires you to cut out everything that's not content, like everything. Somewhat recently, not quite last week recently, but recently enough, let's say in the last year or so, I kind of let everything, all of that go. And I, not so much consciously, but more so as a natural way of reaching a conclusion, I stopped caring about all that. I stubbornly and intentionally don't follow any trends. I don't schedule my posts. I post videos whenever I feel like it, be it Monday morning, Romanian time, despite the fact that that means it's the dead of night in America, where the majority of my audience is, because the majority of my audience is in the US. I just post whenever I'm done with a video. A friend of mine, hey Paul, friend of mine recently told me I should be posting in the PM GMT time, because that's when the Americans wake up and that's when odds are they're most likely to view my videos and find them in their feeds. But it's tiresome. At one point or another, I tried using graphics for likes, for subscribe buttons, for call-outs to action. I did the thing. Oftentimes, I used to ask people to subscribe. I used to ask people for their likes. And I no longer do that. It's not that I don't need or want these things, because sure enough, I often check YouTube analytics and see how my videos perform. I often compare one video to another from my own videos. I rarely compare my videos to somebody else's, because I'm such a small niche in such a smaller niche, and there's basically no point and no value to be had, no relevant information to be found there, because I don't mean to say I'm original, but I do mean to say that I'm kind of like going against the grain here. I'm kind of like doing YouTube on hard mode, because I don't script my videos. A caveat is required here. Once or twice, once quite recently, I did read a whole script. That video where I talked about experience, about vintage lenses and Linux, where I was all dark and mysterious and backlit and the silhouette. That was, and here, a secret. That was just so I could read and so it would not be obvious. Let me just pause this video right here and take off this jacket, because it's really damn warm here. Now, where was I? Yeah, I was letting you in on a little secret. That video of mine was done in that way, partially it's because I like to try new things. I like to experiment, I like to see what works and what doesn't, and I was inspired to shoot like this from a video of, I think I'm getting it wrong, but it's no way. I'll just put a link in the description, and possibly if I remember to on the screen right now. But he also did a video where he showed himself just much cooler than I was able to, but still, it's a backlit scenario. And that aside, more so than anything, it was because I wanted to be able to read from a sort of like a makeshift prompter, and I wanted it to not be obvious that I was reading, because 99% of the times I just do videos like this. This video was, the idea for this video came to me a few days ago. But this morning I didn't even know I would be recording this video. So it was really kind of like a decision made on a whim. So I don't prepare these videos. Very, very rarely I do take a few notes, just so I can structure my thoughts a little. Even rarer still, I write an entire script, and this was the case for the vintage lenses and Linux video. That video is something that I thought about quite a lot, and I wrote an entire script of the video, and it came out so nice that I felt like it was a waste to then just talk out of this pie hole like I do now, and obviously and surely forget to mention a lot of stuff, because that's just how that's just how it goes. I never remember to say everything. I I make a habit out of not preparing for these videos, and it's not out of laziness. It's not because I don't want to make good videos. It's just the way I function. I try to allow myself the most amount of freedom I want. I function best when I don't feel constrained by anything, really. So usually videos go like this. I just sit, have a beer, and talk to the camera, hopefully to at least 3 of you. Once or twice I have been known to read from a script. Once or twice I have been known to take notes and prepare for videos. But other than that, it's just this. And I know this is basically counterproductive because usually people that prepare videos, and I've also found this to be the case, when I do prepare videos, I have an easier time expressing myself. Still, I don't generally do it because it goes back to, yet again, to freedom and feeling as little in the way of constraints as possible. So while this allows me a lot of freedom, this also ensures a more difficult time in expressing myself. I have been known to shoot a single video 4 times because I didn't manage to say the things I wanted to in the way I wanted to. So this is what I mean when I say that I've been doing YouTube on hard mode, together with the fact that I don't schedule my videos according to my main audience, together with the fact that I don't use call to actions. They're supposed to engage the audience, together with the fact that I don't always make the nicest thumbnails. That's somewhere where I try to do my best. But the most important thing to me here is, and here I'm going to be really, really honest with you. I hate the fact that I'm using really a lot. That's a telltale sign of my lacking, I was going to say really again, of my extremely lacking English vocabulary, extremely limited English vocabulary. Sure enough, I'm not a native speaker, but when I talk freely like this, it's often hard to find synonyms for words like really. So I say really a lot and I hate it. But it is what it is. Where was I? Yeah, okay, I was going to let you in on a little secret of mine. I don't actually have friends. Sure, there's my wife, whom I love dearly, and who is actually, besides a lover, a life partner, a mother to my child, she's also one of my 2 best friends, the other being my brother. So if you don't count them, because they have no choice in that, my brother is my brother, whether he likes it or not. My wife is my wife, whether she likes it or not. But other than that, I don't really have any friends. There's Paul. Hi, Paul. It's just the distance that keeps us from being best friends forever. But other than that, he's the closest I have to a best friend. That's not a brother or a wife. Other than that, there's really nobody else I can talk to about things that interest me. Photography, tech and computers, vintage lenses, that's about it. That's about the extent of my interest. Oh yeah, and also beer. Which brings me to the reason why I do YouTube. The reason why I even started this is, frankly, a pragmatic choice, because I don't, and this is not a pity party, I'm very, very comfortable with my aloneness, because I'm not lonely. Mind you, I'm not lonely. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 42, by the way. Yeah, I know I look like 20. But I'm 42, and I'm really extremely comfortable with my aloneness, with my lack of friends. That's not to say that I don't wish I had more friends, but it's to say that I don't suffer from the lack of friends. I don't feel lonely. But that said, I do feel like I would like to share these interests of mine with people. Like most sane people on the planet, I do have a requirement for community, for like-minded people to talk to share these with, and in turn, to hear them out and see what interests them and what they like So it's basically why I started this channel. It's to compensate for my lack of friends. So there you go. You guys out there are my friends. Keeping things in proportion, I'm not going to ask you to come to my birthday. I'm not going to ask you to come over to see movies and enjoy popcorn together. I know, I'm just gonna go ahead and call you internet friends. Sure enough, this channel was started because I had no one to talk to about things that interest me. So, seeing how this was the purpose of the channel, and it was never money, it was never fame, it was never virality, it was never anything other than the fact that I have something to talk about and no one to talk to. So this channel met a need of mine, and once I found an audience, it was basically success. Everything other than that, everything that came on top of this is just like a cherry on a cake. Sure thing. I enjoy the little money that comes my way by the way of this channel. That's not something I take for granted, and I'm grateful for that. Again, I need to stress it that I don't take this for granted. I am fortunate enough to be able to make the little money that I do make out of this hobby, but that is to say, were it not the case, I would still be doing this for the foreseeable future because I had achieved success the moment I found an audience. And my audience just grows. It took me 3 years to even monetize this channel. I started it in early 2021. The first video on the channel is the Industar 50mm f3.5, but before that there were, I think, 3 other videos in Romanian. I have since deleted because at one point I decided I would expose myself to a wider audience, and I'm happy I did. I don't mean to say that I didn't want to be monetized. I don't mean to say that I don't appreciate the fact that I am finally monetized. The truth is, it was never a goal of mine. It was always something that's nice to have, but not a must-have. So then, it's never something I worked towards. I always found other things to work towards too, like improving the image quality. So while I started making videos on a phone, I then purchased a phone gimbal. I then purchased the Osmo Pocket, the first one, which was really surprising as far as image quality goes, as long as you give it good light. Then I upgraded to this, the Z-V1, which I think it's a fantastic, absolutely brilliant camera as far as my needs go. I then upgraded things in the way of audio quality and lighting. I purchased the Godox ES45, I think. It's a LED light that I use at home. I try to find nice places like this to shoot in. Sure, I try to make nice videos, but I try to make nice videos not because these videos make money, but because I like nice videos. Everything I do on this channel, first and most importantly, has to satisfy me. While I understand this may seem egotistical or arrogant, but it's not that I don't value you as my audience. It's that I am confident that because I am my harshest critic, nobody judges me and my work and my actions as harshly as I do. I can assure you of this. Perhaps not even God, because God is kind, God is merciful, and God is my witness. I don't deserve most of the things I have. So, coming back, I am of the firm opinion that if I satisfy my standards, surely I will not disappoint yours. Sure enough, I will not be able to satisfy all of you. I think I can satisfy most of you. So everything I do is to satisfy myself, and this is not out of a feeling of arrogance. It's out of a feeling of knowing that this is one of the few things in my life I'm not going to be able to compromise, because the minute I feel like I compromise too much, I will stop doing this. Which brings me to the matter of this video making money. I began being able to monetize this video in late 2024. That's roughly 3.5 years after starting this video. this channel, I mean. While a lot of people monetize their channels really early on, perhaps in the first month or the first year, I never used this as a metric in what guided my journey with this channel. It was always about how I felt very subjectively about the quality of these videos. And sure enough, I have made videos on suggestions from you in the comments. Furthermore, still intend to make videos about subjects and matters that interest you, because at the end of the day, I started this channel in order to have somebody to talk to about things that interest me. While I have found people that listen to me, people that time and time again return to my channel, I do want to deliver in a way, because I'm very conscious of the fact it's all because you watch these videos. And sure enough, I'm not gonna beat around the bush about it. If nobody ever watched these videos, if I only got 2 views on videos, I probably would stop making them. But anything over 50, I think it's great. And I have videos that have made 20,000 views, sure, in months' time. But on average, my videos make about 500 to 1,000 views in a month, couple of weeks. So while that's petty, spare change, measly amounts for a lot of the big names out there, I don't care for that. It's a lot to me, and I'm grateful for that. I'm happy for that. So to wrap things up and also paint this in a way that can be useful and valuable to you, I think it's really worthwhile to try YouTube on hard mode, because I make videos in black and white, and once or twice people have expressed the opinion that they would like color, but sorry, not sorry, I like black and white. I'm going to make videos in black and white. Then there's the fact that I don't do call to actions anymore. I used to, but it feels like, on the one hand, it feels like I'm begging. It just feels wrong to ask you for your like and your subscribe, and for you to comment down below. And sure enough, that helps. And I do keep count of how many views my videos make. I do keep count and compare the performance of my videos amongst each other. I do keep track of comments. I try to respond to every comment. I don't always manage to, but I think if a video is good enough, people will comment down below. I feel like if the subject matter in a video is interesting enough and engaging enough, people will engage. I feel like I want to approach this channel in the most organic way possible, because it's there where I find the most value and the most satisfaction. Let me put it this way. If I'm getting likes and I don't ask for likes, it means that every like is a heartfelt, honest like. If people comment down below and engage in conversation with each other or with me, and I don't have to ask for it, it's because people are genuinely interested in a conversation with me or about the subjects I talk about. If people subscribe to the channel without me having to ask for it, it's yet again, predictably enough, because people do genuinely and honestly want to keep in touch, want to not miss the next one. This is what gives me the most satisfaction, achieving things in the most natural and organic way possible. And I feel like getting these things without things that do matter. I'm not going to be dishonest about it. These things do matter to me, but they're more valuable to me if I get them without having to ask for it. There's also a slight bit of pride on my part, but that's a subject for another video, for another time. I don't like to ask for things. I like to receive things, sure enough, but I feel like they're more valuable if they're given to me without me having to ask for them. Furthermore, this also allows me the freedom to talk about whatever I want, however I want, whenever I want, because I have been known to take 2 months off from YouTube, and I also have been known to make 2 videos a week. Everything is because and about how I feel like doing things. While that's certainly not the most productive way of running a YouTube channel, it's the way that's the easiest to me, that offers the least amount of friction. It doesn't feel like a chore, because in the past I have began thinking of this channel like it was a chore, and it was only then that I thought about giving everything up. And I don't want to give this up. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy getting your comments. I enjoy the things you say in the comments. I've gotten the nicest comments ever in response to a couple of my recent videos, and I'm very grateful for that. It just warms my heart, honest to God. It just turns me into a soft, mushy puddle inside. But the way this has the most value for me if it's natural and organic. I'm becoming repetitive, and the gist of it, the takeaway for this video, I think, because, well, I did at one point try to play the game, try and work the algorithm, and find out what works and what doesn't, and find ways to design my thumbnails and compose my descriptions and the tags and the whatnot. And at the end of the day, none of that made any sense to me, and everything seemed like a chore, and all of that detracted from the joy I get out of making these videos and the satisfaction I get at the end of the day when I do end up publishing them. When I decided to just naturally stand in front of the camera, have a beer, and talk about stuff that interests me, and just edit and publish without any fireworks, without anything that's forced or artificial or unnatural. And I've gotten to the end of my rant, because I think this is what it was. I don't think I've forgotten anything important. I really do want to thank you for watching this. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you. No, honestly. It's not just something you say at the end of the video. It's honestly a heartfelt thank you. In the hope that this was worthwhile, interesting, valuable, or why not a combination of these above, I want to wrap things up here. Very briefly, I'm out shooting this. Still working on a review for the Voigtlander Nocton Classic 40mm f1.4, the single-coated version, because that's how we rock. I think I'm gonna have yet one more beer, then it's off to walk the streets of Arad. Until next time, I bid you farewell. Thank you again.